The problem is there's too much we don't know. It's like opening a book and starting from the middle, or try to imagine what a jigsaw puzzle looks like when all you have is a few random pieces, right? And not even the helpful ones like corners or edges, just vague fucking. The trick is you find two pieces that connect. Then at least you have a place to start.
Welcome everybody to today's video, and join me and Dana as we venture down the rabbit hole into a quaint little town filled with friendly faces, mysteries, and true horrors that we have all come to know and love, called Fromville. From the first roadblock our characters meet, to the ominous crows that greet them, as they find refuge in an unknown place where a mysterious rock known as the Talismans give them a small sense of safety from the nightmares and terrors that await them. Now let's all hop through a faraway tree and break down the unknowns together as we try to connect all that we know to what has yet to be discovered as we prepare for Season 3 premiering on September 22nd on MGM+. As the snow begins to fall and the monsters start a new level of fear and torment upon the town, we cannot imagine what is going to come next for the characters we have come to know and love. Get ready as we share our thoughts and theories with each of you and see if we cannot figure out what Fromville is and who or what is behind it all.
Join Scarlet and myself as we look back at the first two seasons and ready ourselves for the next new season, which is vastly approaching. Follow Scarlet as she brings you her new thoughts on the possibilities of a nightmare realm and its connections to a Greek goddess named Melinoe, and how it fits within Fromville, and all she discovered within her research. And I delve further into the connections between the light of the island in Lost and the darkness of the town in Fromville, as they reveal more parallels between these two unique places.
Oh, this place, how you say, scary, nice scary.
Nightmare?
When this no work, that's nightmare. Nightmare.
Okay.
Is it a place where nightmares are created? Is it a place just below our reality? Whatever it is, one theme that keeps coming up is dreams, or worse, nightmares. During my research, I found two separate goddesses, Melinoe and Hecate, that may help in our understanding of this strange place. Melinoe's primary role was to guide the spirits of the dead during the night. She would roam the earth accompanied by a host of ghosts, ensuring they did not harm the living. Additionally, she was the embodiment of nightmares, bringing forth visions and dreams to both terrify and enlighten mortals. Her responsibilities also included maintaining the balance between the world of the living and the realm of the dead, ensuring that neither was disturbed by the other. She possessed the unique ability to roam both the world of the living and the dead. She could summon and control spirits, as well as induce visions and nightmares within mortals. Her presence alone could cause an eerie chill, and she had the power to bring forth the ghosts of the deceased, making them visible to the living. The crescent moon is a primary symbol for this goddess, representing her domain over the night. Torches are another symbol, signifying guidance through the dark realms she frequented. One tale speaks of a mortal who, upon seeing her ghostly procession, was driven into madness. Yet, in his insanity, he gained prophetic abilities showcasing the dual nature of her influence. Much like our townies that experience something very similar to this, Jade is the first that comes to mind, having seen psychic echoes in the form of visions that are seemingly driving him mad. Yet, in his insanity, as the tale of the goddess goes, I believe he will acquire prophetic abilities. Next, we have Boyd, who upon entering a nightmare used a torch to guide himself to and from the darkness. Finally, we come to the monsters. Their hive-like psychic mentality and ability to change form led me to believe they are a possible horror of her own making. In my opinion, these are just a few examples of the connections my research has produced, and look for future videos where I dive into many of these examples further. Next, my research led me to the goddess Hecate. During my research, I discovered that she was a Greek goddess often portrayed holding a pair of torches, a key, or snakes, and she can be seen accompanied by dogs. This goddess is also sometimes associated with crossroads, as well as the night and the light, along with magic, protection from witchcraft, drugs, the moon, graves, and finally ghosts. She can also be connected to the realms outside or beyond the world of the living. As holder of the keys that can unlock the gates between realms, she can also unlock the gates of death. Certain lore has told the story of her being witness to the abduction of the goddess Demeter's daughter Persephone, being kidnapped and taken to the underworld, and with her torch in hand, she aided in the search for her, and in doing so, pillars called Hecateia sometimes can be found standing at a crossroads and or doorway, perhaps to keep away evil spirits. Much like the faraway trees in From could be found near crossroads, as well as can be doorways themselves, remind me of the pillars that stood for Hecate. The boy in white being accompanied by multiple dogs very much reminds me of the tales of this goddess and her watchdogs, both being followed by these companions, giving her the second connection to From. A connection can also be made between this goddess and the talismans, as one can be used as a form of worship to the goddess, like Hecate, as well as see both a representation of night and day within them, and in turn these talismans keep them safe at night from the monsters that roam From. Finally, the connection between these two goddesses mirror one another, as Melinoe and Hecate share many similarities and are often confused, sharing many attributes that allow the connections between them to intertwine with the town and From. With the world of Fromville seeming like an illusion, with clocks that change but do not tick, plugs and outlets that draw power but go nowhere, in the future I will be diving deep into the lore and how they relate to From, and how this place connects to the realms these goddesses reside in.
The room we're standing in was constructed years ago over a unique pocket of electromagnetic energy. That energy connects to similar pockets all over the world. The people who built this room, however, were only interested in one.
The island.
Yes, the island.
As Eloise stated in Season 5, Episode 6 of Lost, titled 316, she tells Jack that the island is one of many places that sit within a unique pocket of electromagnetic energy that all connect, and that there is more than one of these unique places within the world. What if Fromville is another one of those unique places? We know that the island held the light of the world, or the soul that sits in each and every one of us. What if Fromville is the darkness that sits in each and every one of us? With light comes darkness, as you cannot have one without the other. What if the darkness we see in Fromville is the balance to the light of the island? The connections go even further in that episode. Eloise continues, stating that the person who built the lamppost found a way to locate the island, and did so not by trying to figure out where it was, but to figure out where it was going, as the island was always moving, and that is why they were never rescued. And we see the same thing for the people in the town of From. When we see the map in the post office behind Kenny in Season 1, Episode 4, A Rock and a Faraway Tree, he explains to Jade that everyone in town saw a fallen tree before becoming stuck, and that each resident all came from different locations, each at a different time, showing that the entrance to the town does move. We know from Victor that the trees have also been moving, as we see him counting the steps. And we know that the faraway trees allow you to move through Frumville like portals of some kind. So why couldn't it be a possibility that the entire place moves as well? We see that the people can enter Frumville from different locations throughout different times, just like the island. The connections go even further between both From and Lost. We know that the people within Lost were brought to the island for a specific reason or purpose as Jacob's candidates. In Season 6, Episode 16, What They Died For, Jacob tells his candidates that they were brought to the island because each was broken in some way, facing certain crossroads within their lives, and the same can easily be said for the people of From, facing a literal crossroads when they come to the fallen tree before becoming stuck within the town. He also tells them that he brought them to the island for one of them to fill the role of protector and guardian to the light within it, making sure to keep it safe at all costs. Even though it is not stated for From yet, I believe that whoever or whatever brought the people to the town of From did so not to protect it, but to feed the darkness that this place keeps locked away, showing the further balance the two places are for one another. Lost protects the light and From feeds the darkness, one doing so to protect its source from the outside and the other keeping its source at bay, protecting the outside from it. I also believe that if this darkness that resides in From is released like the entity is trying to do, could cause the same catastrophe as if the light were to be extinguished by the man in black, as his goal was always to leave the island, just like I think whatever is in From is also trying to do. Whatever this big bad is, wants to leave From. Who knows what other connections the island and Frumville will reveal in coming seasons of From, but one thing is for sure, the spirit of Lost resides deep within From, and look for future videos where I will be diving further into these many parallels. From the connections between Jacob's lighthouse and the boy in White's lighthouse, to John Locke's compass and Tabitha's bracelet, to Jacob and the man in black, to the boy in white and the unknown big bad. All deserve a further look to see if we can find some answers within them and figure out if these two unique places truly are within the same world.
Thanks for watching today's video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos and live streams. So until next time, keep them talismans up, the doors locked, and stay safe out there, Frumily.